Alright, what's going on, guys? Gonna be making a little YouTube video of the Mach 1 brakes that I'm installing on the Saleen. To start off, I'm gonna be painting these actually. I already painted them silver because I thought I was gonna do them at my shop that day, but ended up not, so just went and bought some blue paint to match the little blue on my doors, and I'm gonna see this side's all the same color, but I'm gonna match and paint all these to paint them blue to match the little Saleen thing on my door. I just got this stuff at Pep Boys right here. So yeah, upgrade 13-inch rotors, going from 11 to 13-inch, and then the Mach 1 / Cobra calipers. So these are the rotors. Other rotors in here, and then I'm gonna paint the calipers right now in blue. And I was gonna do it at the shop that I work at, but we've just been a little too busy, so just took it home and just gonna do it here in my garage. Jack it up and hopefully we can do everything right. All right, but I got everything taped up. I'm mostly just gonna be spraying the outside, so it doesn't really matter. These are the outsides right here. Yeah, so these do already have a layer of paint on them. That's why they look the same color. When they came to me, it was actually a lot worse. One was like super shiny, like this, and then one was like the color of this trash can. But they are refurbished, so the pistons and all the rubber and everything, and that's all fresh and brand new. So I just kind of brake cleaned them a little bit just now. Wiped them around, and then I'm gonna respray with this, I believe it's gloss enamel for like engines, can withstand up to 500 degrees. I'm just gonna be spraying these. It's pretty bright. It's like a gumball blue. It's close to this color, but honestly, this is way lighter. That's all right. Still a cool little blue. I love this enamel paint because it dries so fast. Look at this. Looks wet, right? It's been like 30 seconds since I took the last video. But let's do another coat. Just for reference, every time I paint, you gotta finish with a really heavy coat, because see how glossy it gets when you make it heavy? Just do a heavy coat at the very end, after a few coats have dried. Luckily, this only takes like 30 seconds to dry. Look, I literally just sprayed this. And it's like, it's sticky, but it's like not, basically dry. But yeah, just do a super heavy coat, because then you get a nice gloss after you've sprayed a few coats. Little tip. So fam, alright, so as you can see, I'm doing my calipers right now on this baby. And I just painted them, so I gotta wait for those to like completely dry. Yeah, they dry on the surface like really fast, but I want to be able to like, you know, accidentally like hit it or like touch it and have them not chip or break or dent or like have my fingerprints in them. So just gonna wait for that to dry, and then we're gonna be getting cracking on this right now, I think. And just FYI, this is not an instructional video. I'm not gonna be doing step by step. I'm basically just gonna be showing you guys what's going on, what I'm doing, and yeah, just install these puppies on this baby right here. All right, check out my lip. It's absolutely destroyed. That's what happens when you scrape coming in and out of your driveway every single day. And yeah, that's literally the worst. This thing looks so bad right now. I should probably take it off, but I'm gonna order a new one before I take it off, so I can just roll around ugly for a little bit. So what I gotta do now is I rolled up on some ramps. So I gotta go under the car, jack up one side, put a jack stand under it, and then I gotta go to the other side, jack up one side, and then put a jack stand under it. Okay, finally got this car up. So what I have to do is, I can't jack it up on the pinch welds because they're all bent. See? So I have to jack it up on the frame, which is also bending somehow. And that's just from jack points, that's not from a crash. And then I put this on the pinch weld part that's not bent. So I have to jack it up on there, put this right here. After I roll up on wood first, so the jack can just fit under the car. And then I have to jack it up on an almost bent pinch weld just to get more wood underneath, because when you jack it up on that side, it gets lower on this side. So the wood's already underneath. I have to jack it up on here, put more wood, one more piece of wood, and then I have to go back all the way under, jack it up, and then put that jack stand in. And I just leave that jack there. But such a mission. All right, boys, finally got the wheels off. The worst part about working on my car is jacking it up, getting off the ground. That's the worst part, but since that's over, we got the calipers right here. You could take off the tape now, but it's hard to do things with one hand. So yeah, I'm just gonna take off the tape. Oh my gosh, see, that's what I was scared of. Oh jeez. I'm gonna spray over that. All right, not working with one hand, sorry guys. But I'm gonna take everything off, put it on, I don't know. A little chip, so it's not there anymore. Time to take all this stuff off. So yes, I have a spacer. Just makes my fitment. My fitment's actually like right here, but when I put the spacer on, it pokes it out to like right here. And I kind of like it, looks cool. Coming from like drift vibes and, you know, JDM boys, I like that style. So, and I forgot to mention, we have to assemble these calipers because they're not fully assembled yet. So I'm gonna do that once the paint's like pretty hard. That's why I'm just taking this stuff apart first, and then I'm gonna assemble the calipers. All right, so I'm probably only gonna film one side since it's kind of annoying to stop every bolt and film, but calipers off. So luckily I was doing brakes because I would have never even thought to do brakes, because I rarely drive this car anymore now because I got the bike. So I just, everything that's on this car is just staying the way it is until it full on fails. Take the bracket off, then take this off, which is all super easy. And if you guys know brakes, you guys know this is pretty easy, other than just like the technicality of like putting those together, and then the banjo bolts. I'd say that's pretty much it. It's the hardest part. So I'm gonna go to the other side, kind of just get it ready to be get everything ready to be put on, but not take the brake line off yet, so I could swap the brake lines real fast. Then all I have to do is bleed brakes. All right, so here's my coilovers. No, they're not leaking. It's because I used a lot of WD-40 and all this stuff. I've changed this ride height and changed these colors so many times, and I've never cleaned them. I always just spray it and then I twist. So this is all just from, because you could tell up here it's all dry. And so it's all just down here where the stuff is, because I always spray stuff on it to get it to break them loose. But I already have steel birdie brake lines for the people who always mention them to me. They're just covered in a little protective thing. And yeah, these are aftermarket, so they're not stock. And then I have BCBR type coils, pretty big sway bar. And then the tubular K-member that I put in, if you guys want to see me putting this in, I think I made a video on it, but I don't remember. But I put this in, and it was a pain, but it makes access to things a lot easier. All right, fam, I got everything off. Calipers right here, bolts just ready to come out. I need to assemble those first, and then put the other rotor on, assemble that, put it on, get ready to swap that over real fast. So I'm gonna leave that and I'm gonna do the other side, get it the way this is now. And these bolts are so hard to get off. I had to use PB blaster, but right when you put PB on it, it just kind of like zaps away. Like it's so easy to just break, like break loose. All this is off. Let's show a little comparison of the stock rotor versus the new Cobra rotor. But look at the difference right here. Sheesh. It's a big difference right there. Wow. This is what I was talking about. So the flash is actually kind of making it look not as bad, but look at that. Oops. But I think the previous owner put the guide pins of the, see the brake pad, it has like those things right there. And see how those ones are protruding out right there? I think they were just gouging in here and they just cracked these things and broke them. But yeah. I had my brakes off a long time ago, and I thought they were like full on cracked through, but I guess it's just this. But still, that doesn't look good. Actually leaking a little bit, maybe? Or maybe that's from the PB blaster, but still, definitely needed an upgrade. These brakes suck. All right, sorry, I know I keep repeating myself, but basically I'm just gonna finish this side. So all the bolts are to take the caliper off are this top one, bottom one, and then the part that connects to the knuckle, which is right here, and then the top one, which is right here. So you just got to take those 4 bolts out, and then that's what takes off this and this. And then you could take the rotor off because it's freely on here. Then you could just take that off, slide it off, and then just slide on all the new stuff. But make sure you crack the banjo bolt before you take everything off. Don't crack it to where it's leaking, just crack it to where it's easy to take off later. So I see how I cracked it, then I just hand tie it so it's not leaking and letting too much air in. So I just did that, and then now take off the caliper. Let this part sit. You could take off the bracket, put that away. And then I'm gonna assemble the new ones and then slap it all back together. Oh, by the way, to crack the back 2 bolts that are holding the bracket to the knuckle, you're gonna need a breaker bar because they are on so tight. Update, all done. Now let's just slap on all the new stuff, slow. So, stock rotors, 11-inch, 13-inch, those look so much better. But I am still confused because this uses all of the surface area and this only uses like up to here on surface area. So I don't know how they're better, but and I don't know why, but whatever. The thing I do know is these 13-inch rotors will go good with some ATS calipers from a Cadillac. So when I'm bored with these and I just randomly have money to upgrade, I'm gonna do that. So because all I have to do is upgrade the caliper and get some spacers. And that's easy, but that's what's cool about the big rotor upgrade. But just gotta put those together and slap them on the car, and I'll come back to you when these are all put together. But I'm gonna go eat, and then, but you know, YouTube magic, I'll be done like that. All right guys, so I have lubed up everything, even the insides. I've lubed up those, and I've lubed up these. Just a little bit on each. So everything's good to go. The inside's lubed also. And now time to just put everything together. All right guys, finally got this all together. For some reason it took me a long time and I ended up like dinging it. I got medium strength and high strength thread locker. So medium, high strength. The high strength one goes on these, the medium strength one goes on the small bolts. And yeah, I'm gonna go install one of these. I think this one goes on the left. Yeah. It's gonna go like this. And then I just want to brake clean these because they come with some lube on them already. So you don't want lube on your brakes. All right. She's on. It's looking good. I just got to clean it up a bit because my hands are all dirty. So I got the caliper a little dirty. But, dang, this thing's looking good. Nice and thick. Big rotors. I don't know how I got it so grimy and dirty already. But yeah, look at that. She's on. The wheels turn though. Just gotta torque the bolts, and I literally just figured out that I don't need these bolts anymore, which is actually pretty sick. Alright, torquing to 90 pound-feet in the back, or foot-pounds, whatever you want to say. 90, so luckily it's only 2 bolts, pretty sick. So now I just gotta do the brake line hose, which I'm definitely not gonna film because I gotta swap all that over real fast. Alrighty boys, what's up? So we are 90% done. I got all the brake lines attached. Don't know if you can see. I don't even know what I'm filming right there, and you could see that some paint was stripped off. That's because the brake fluid got all over, and it was all over my hands because it was leaking, and then I was like touching the brake caliper at the same time, so I messed up and I kind of got some brake fluid everywhere, but a bunch came off right here, but I ended up spraying it over real quick while it's still in the car. I just covered it with paper towels. And then, yeah, so I got a thin layer of paint right there, which is all right, but everything's on and it's looking stinking good. I mean, if you're wondering if this is my spacer, I don't need it. I just do it for looks. Yeah, dude, I'm stoked. I just gotta bleed the brakes, and then that's it. And then we'll see how this thing works. Both brake lines are attached. Good, ready to go. Not leaking or nothing. I hope. That's what I think, is that they're not leaking. And then, yeah. So it's just bleeding now. And then when I drive it, it might be another day from now, but when I drive it, sorry about that. When I drive it, it might be another day from now, but I'll record it and I'll just let you guys know how it feels. And I'm hoping it'll feel better. I think it will. But the pads actually look smaller to me than the stock ones. So this thing looks so much smaller than the stock ones, but I don't know, man. I mean, Cobras have them from the factory, so do Mach ones. So they gotta be better. They look cool. I think they look sick. If you know what the brakes are, then you know that they're sick. Look, I went with blue because the Saleen stock in this year, or this color, just this trim specifically, whoever ordered this car got blue. Got blue on the sides, so I just kind of wanted to match it with the blue, you know? Just the blue on white. I'm not a huge fan of red, so honestly I have no red on my car except for the Saleen logo, so no red up here. And that's the whole reason I blacked out my taillights. So there's no red at all. The only red is in the logo. So yeah, and the tag, but yep. So that is why. Alrighty boys, they're on. Sheesh, those things look sick. I love, you can't really tell like in person, but they fill out the whole wheel and it looks so sick. And then the blue just goes right with the door right there. So that's my reason for doing blue, is because I'm not a huge fan of red. So for it to go with the doors, just kind of matches the color scheme. I'm not gonna drive it right now, I'll drive it later, but I just want to say thank you guys for watching, and hope you guys enjoyed this little Mach 1 brake upgrade.